Do you remember this situation a couple of years ago in the subway, maybe? Kids sitting in the subway listening to music. And that can be quite annoying, but it's also very interesting because it's a guerrilla strategy, actually. It's the use of sound to claim space. That was, for me, very exciting and inspiring because I was producing electronic music, and at the same time I was working on a series of wall drawings in different locations. And I used the music to inspire myself and to create a certain atmosphere in which I was able to bring these hypothetical landscapes into a real room. The problem was my sound equipment was in the studio, and I was traveling to different locations or public spaces, exhibition spaces to do the drawings. And I've built a device I called the Mobile Booster. It's a mobile sound system. It has my equipment in the back. It's kind of a hybrid of a car and a speaker and a production studio. And it was actually super functional. It totally worked, but it wasn't making me mobile. It was too wide, so I couldn't get through a door, and it was too heavy to get up some stairs. So actually, it was something like a conceptual thing. But in the internet, a lot of agencies came to me and asked if I want to bring this to mass production, and I was always telling them, you can try, but I'm telling you, nobody will build a garage for his sound system. And then, so yeah, they found out by themselves. But then 2 years later, someone wrote me an email from Spain and said, hey, Nick, I saw your work in the exhibition. I liked it, but now I saw a version running through a supermarket in Spain selling mobile phones with a MP3 package on it. And that was quite nasty because actually it was meant in the opposite way. I wanted to free space from industrial and commercial occupation. And yeah, I couldn't do anything against this illegal plagiarism because this company had too many lawyers. But I continued thinking about mobile sound systems. And I've built a model of a sound tank. Have a look to the video. I made a video with my brother Nik Nowak, like image film for this work. These little sound tanks they're very small. They are models like this. They're remote controlled. And I produce the soundtrack for every object. I released a record at a label called Flipping the Coin. They release visual artists that are producing music. I was continuing building sound systems and producing certain sound works for it. like this one. It's called Tweeter. It's a high-tone speaker with 2 bowls where you can stand in the middle, and these bowls are producing a spherical wave, which makes the sound experience super three-dimensional. And the frequency is around 3,000 hertz, is where our ears are very sensitive. And this is an interesting thing because the pain level is lower than at the other frequencies. So you have to compose the sound work very carefully, because if it's too loud, it's gonna hurt. But if you do it right, it's pretty stimulative, like like doing acupuncture. It's like working with a needle at a very sensitive point. And the next one is called Baron Bass. It's a subwoofer, actually. It's playing only low frequencies from 20 to 200 hertz. And low frequency can make you fear, and that it can produce panic. I'm already panicking here, up here. Pretty good subwoofers. It has a subwoofer in the middle of between both wheels in the center of the sculpture. And when the frequency is low, around 20 hertz, you can't actually hear it, but you can feel it in your organs, and it affects your brain. After these experiments with frequencies, I was ready to build the sound tank in real size. It's a 1.5 tons track vehicle. You can lift up the sound wall in the front with a hydraulic system, and then you can play music to your audience. And you can drive this vehicle, you can sit in the back, and I have my personal equipment again there. Some samplers and mixers, and you can record sounds, sample sounds, and remix it and rearrange it. Have a look how it works. I was playing a couple of gigs in Germany, and I was playing with my DJ collective Schocklatze. People that saw these performances weren't afraid of this tank, but people that just saw it in the internet, or some people were contacting me and really worried that I invented a new weapon, and that we have to be afraid that the police are going to come at us in the future and shoot at us with sound and makes our ears bleeding. And the good news is that I didn't invent a weapon like that, because I lowered the frequencies at 3,000 hertz, so that if the volume is very loud, it's not really uncomfortable. But I raised the frequency of 200 hertz so that you have a really good kick bass. But the bad news is these weapons already exist. This is the sound cannon that is in use. It's called LRAD, long-range acoustic device, and it's a cannon that shoots 3,000 hertz sinus curves through people. It was used first against pirates at Somalia, or at the coast of Somalia, and now it is in use actually more or less all around the world against protesters. This is a photograph from Pittsburgh, the G20 protests. And the same time where the powers are using sound weapons to shoot at civilians, they forbid the people that are protesting in New York at Wall Street to use microphones and amplifiers right now, because the powers understood that sound is a very powerful weapon, and also we use this weapon or this tool every day. So they try to weaken the people by forbidding to use a microphone. But the people found a very great way to make themselves heard. Please have a look to this video.
Mic check! Mic check! We amplify each other's voices!
We amplify each other's voices!
No matter what's said!
No matter what's said!
So we can hear one another!
So we can hear one another!
But also, we use this human mic because the police won't let us use any kind of instrument.
From my perspective, this weird anachronism where we are not allowed to use a microphone is a clear expression of the speechlessness of the system. I think we have to protect the status where we are free to speak, and we have to listen to each other because this is the base of all culture. Thank you.